this is huge. Bitcoin just reached $117,513. I just want to remind you guys that I'm not a financial advisor. This is only for educational purposes, as I'm only a guy sitting here in my office trying to give out the best information I possibly can based off of educational purposes only, as I am not a financial advisor. Thank you. Back to the video. And what does this mean? This is a good sign. This is not guaranteed yet or super 100% bullish confirmations, not just yet, but we just passed prior resistance. Okay, if you guys remember, grab my tool real quick before we keep on here. If you guys remember, this level right here, okay, this level right here was prior support. Remember, when Bitcoin pushed to $123,000, it created a new support, which you saw it bounce multiple times down here, even came below, went back up, still keeping this as support. And as you can see, came one more time down here, kept support until it finally broke. And when it finally broke, what happened? Bitcoin just broke new highs. We got a correction, but what used to be strong support was now starting to at least look like strong resistance. And you had one bounce here, and then you had another bounce right here before right now breaking past that support. Okay, and why do I say it's not confirmed yet? Because this is the daily chart, and for this to be confirmed on a higher time frame chart, it needs to be at least a daily chart. I don't like to use the 4 hour. The 4 hour are good like progressions within the day and in the week, but for me, the best one to use is the daily chart. So if we can close above this level, all we need to do is close above this level, at least a decent amount. I wouldn't say a little bit, at least like where we are right now, maybe higher, maybe even half of that candle. A close above this level will be very good for crypto and the bull run, okay? Even though I think we're kind of shying away from Bitcoin and Ethereum now to lead the charge, you can see Ethereum right over here is up. It was up 5%, and it was way past 5% a little while ago. Ethereum's doing very well and actually leading the charge for the altcoins. Is starting to play out that way, and I'm going to show you some proof with the Bitcoin dominance in a little bit after we finish with this chart. But this is huge news. It also was respecting this support line that we had way back in May or April, May. We had this huge support line that every time crypto has corrected, it's corrected to this line right here. And what I love about this move is that it went sideways most of the time, staying at high levels while coming back to the same line after going sideways. So we didn't have a huge correction. We just went some sideways action with a smaller correction. And what we did here, if you guys can see what happened was it came down, bounced one time on this support trend line right here, okay? And then it also came back, resisted, and bounced again on this trend line with higher lows. It also did it one more time with a higher low and a resistance bounce until we finally broke through this resistance zone or resistance line right here. So now the next steps is, what is it gonna do? Is it only gonna reach this resistance trend line up here and come back down, or are we actually going to break and make this into a bull flag? Which is my suspicions. My suspicions is, if you think about it, this is support. We don't have that much space to go. If we do come down one more time, I mean, if you think about it, that will probably be the last time. So whether it happens now, this week or next week, or it happens a little bit later on, maybe in 1, 2, 3 days, and then break, there's still not much time. So it's either going to break to the upside here, maybe a pullback and then break, or it breaks to the downside. And then that one will be a little bit scarier because this will no longer be support, and this will start creating new lows outside of the support, which is a little bit scary. And then to get back above it, it's going to have to really run and then make new moves with retests, which will make it take a little bit longer if it were to do this. but I still don't see this as a bad move. Even if we go down to 110 level, I still don't see it as a bad move. It just, all that means, well, is that it'll take longer. But I don't see this being any scary at all, because really, whether Bitcoin goes sideways or go up, I still think Ethereum is doing its own thing, and I think Ethereum is starting to lead the charge now, and it's probably its turn. Whether Bitcoin has yet room to go to 150 or 200K or not, I still think we're almost done with this bull market. There's not that much time left, and Ethereum's starting to lead the charge, and it has to start doing what it needs to do to get this altcoin season running. Because if not, it'll be scary not to have an altcoin season, which I still think we're gonna have a pretty good altcoin season. Now let's go ahead and get into the charts of Ethereum, as I have to get to a meeting soon, and I wanted to do this video really quickly just to share the good news with you guys. But you can see Ethereum also doing very, very, very good. Ethereum made a kind of like a trap play here, where it does a strong move up, shallow pullback, higher high, and then it comes below the prior swing, which is this one right here, to scare people, to say, hey, we're gonna go back down and probably bounce. No, what it does is it's called a bear trap. So where they do a strong move up, shallow pullback, higher high, come down past the prior swing. So people say, oh man, we made a new low past the prior swing. That's a lie, because it's a strong move into a shallow pullback, into a higher high. We're still very bullish. So what it did was it came above the EMA, bounced, made a higher low, right? So this is a failure. Bears failed once, bears failed twice, right? Because they failed once. Why? Because they tried to go below this prior resistance, which is now support, right? So they failed it. Plus we have a bear trap forming here with a higher low. And what happened? We're starting to go up. Now the next thing would be for this to pass previous highs, which this is going to be where the liquidity is, where what you would call stops, and it could lead to bigger gains past 4K, maybe into $42 or $4,300, so that it can come back and finally use prior resistance and turn it into support. And what do I mean by prior resistance? You guys can't see it. Very simple. I'm going to show you, and this is actually really cool. But look how many times we had resistance. Resistance here, because we came above it, but came right back below it. Came back above, resistance. Went above, that was Ethereum's all-time highs in 2021, right? Before the bear market dropped. And now the new bull market, we came up here once, we came up here twice, resistance, resistance, came up here again, resistance. That's 3 hits to the resistance. Came back down for a big correction, and guess what? We're back up here. And remember, in my experience trading, the more times something hits a resistance, the more higher chance it is to break it at some point. Okay? Just remember, the more time it hits a resistance, meaning that resistance is going to hold up to a certain point. There's going to be a point where it breaks. And look what's happening here. There's not that much space, at least for this bull trend. And I don't think have enough time to come back down and then come back up before the bull market's over. So if you think about it, this is probably the last trend before the bull market's over. And I think this is what the time that Ethereum wants to break this. Hey, there still could be a chance that Ethereum, going back to Ethereum and what's going on right now, there's still a chance that Ethereum can, do something like this, come back, and then finally break. Yes, it will take longer. And that would be September, which is, anyways, I think September is the time frame. If this does happen, wouldn't surprise me. It's still bullish, because in my opinion, I thought September, with interest rate cuts and stuff like that, it was going to finally do the move, reset this RSI a little bit lower to the oversold levels, and then come up with this move and break, and then just zoom for, before the end of the bull run. And then big caps and mid caps and small caps will follow after, once people start taking profits from Ethereum. That's just what I thought it was going to do. If it does it now, if it does it earlier, and we get above here and then retest. So just so you guys don't get confused, if we do get above here, retest, and then maybe chop around here for a little bit, maybe scare people, go under a bit, and then come back up, and then September take off, that'll be fine. Or if we do this and just retest and go, that's fine too. But we need to get above this resistance. Whether it's now, or maybe it's later, or maybe, in September, where you have to get above it to have a nice little bull cycle, and so that you can have an altcoin season, because Ethereum does lead the charge, and we need to get past prior all-time highs, which is basically up here, which is going to be that $4,868 level. Once we break these prior all-time highs from the last bull run, that's when true altcoin season, in my opinion, starts, just like last season. And we're going to have a nice little altcoin season here coming here shortly. But so remember, whether we break now and stay above it for a little bit and then go in September, or break now and go, or even don't break now, come down, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here, who knows? Hit this support line one more time to reset this daily RSI, and then have enough room to really break through this, not only doing it quickly, right, but also retesting here, retesting the 50, very bullish move. This will get it ready for a big move if this were to do this, and then boom, take off, new all-time highs to wherever it's going to take off to, and then start altcoin season, and then boom, do this. And while this is making new highs, you know, this will be making lower highs, letting us know that that's almost done, and people will probably start taking profits, and then maybe make one more new high up here, and then this one will probably make another lower high, letting us know that Ethereum's done. It's probably gonna move the money into other big caps, and that's just how it goes every single season. And then Ethereum is done, but then everything else, maybe Ethereum goes down, maybe it chops sideways while the other ones do their thing. However that's going to play out, it doesn't matter. It will be very violently and very quickly once it actually does start happening. So this is all good news, whether it happens now or in September, it doesn't matter. It's still very, very good news, and be prepared. Be prepared. Last thing before we go here, I'm going to show you the Bitcoin dominance and trying to get you guys into the mindset of why I'm showing you this and what you guys should be looking for. Big push down, okay? And now we had a bounce up, which people got a little scared with Bitcoin, and now we're getting rejected. So we did close above the 21 EMA, but guess what happened? We got rejected and closed right back under, and we're coming back down. If you guys look at what happened last bull cycle, this is really cool, and I really want you guys to understand this. This period here, okay, right here, you can see that Ethereum did not cross all-time highs yet, even though Bitcoin was already almost at $60,000 by this point, or 40,000 or 50,000, somewhere around there. This move up, Ethereum still never crossed the all-time highs. When Ethereum crosses previous all-time highs, and look, this was in January or December of 2021, okay? Bitcoin was already moving. Just like this whole bull market, Bitcoin was moving. Well, last whole bull market, Bitcoin was moving, okay? It was stagnant sideways for a while, and then the last couple months, it pushed up really hard to like $50,000, and Ethereum still didn't do anything, okay? And then once Bitcoin got to a certain $60,000 level, when Ethereum started moving, and then around this period here which is this downtrend right here, Ethereum started to break all-time highs and start the altcoin season, which was this right here. Ethereum really started moving, then broke all-time highs, came back, resisted, or I think it came. Ethereum did a big move, did a retest here on the Bitcoin dominance, and then Ethereum broke all-time highs. And then right around this area was when big caps started, mid caps, and then small caps. And then just the Bitcoin dominance drained from that point on. And if you look at what's happened this whole bull market, right? Bitcoin is the only one that's had any real like action and real price movement. And then all of a sudden, when it got to once it got really high and it broke down to a 60% level, Ethereum started moving and getting close to breaking all-time highs. And I think on this push down, even if we are to get a push higher, maybe here, maybe even here, I still think it's going to make lower highs. It's not going to make a new high, and we're going to start pushing lower. We don't have that much time left, so either way, it doesn't matter. We're going to get new highs in Ethereum, History has proved it. History repeats itself over and over. We gotta go by history until history breaks its theme or breaks its rhythm of what it does. If history likes to repeat itself and it does it over and over, why do you think it's going to be different this time? It's the same until it's not. And that's how we go. And guess what? Even if it's not the same, it might not be all that different. It might be just a tad bit off or a little bit more than normal, but almost the same. So let's get ready for this bull run and this altcoin season. Let's get ready to rock and roll. I think we're going to have a great altcoin season. I just wanted to get this news out for you guys so you guys did see what's happening in the bull market. We're looking very good. Look at the macro. Look, we're looking very bullish still. Respecting this last trend channel here. Everything's looking good and everything's looking dominant. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. God bless and peace.